Hi, welcome back. I'm Dr. Patty, and if you're new to our channel, thank you so much for stopping by and welcome. So today I want to talk about this term adaptogens. You may have heard of this word just sort of through the ether and social media or the internet. And basically, in a nutshell, adaptogens are herbs, sometimes things like medicinal mushrooms, that basically help our body increase its resistance to stress and process stress a bit better. So they're not meant to replace doing some of the real work in terms of eliminating chronic stressors in our life, whether that be an offending food or food that causes inflammation or a life situation that's causing chronic stress. But while we handle those things, adaptogens can definitely help increase our resistance, and it does this by working on the HPA axis, which is the hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis, which works on our stress hormones and sort of the communication in our nervous system, and also on the fight or flight, that system that we have in our body that says, oh shoot, there's a bear chasing us, we better get out of here. So with that said, there's so many different types of adaptogens out there, and we can't go into everything today, but I wanted to go over 6 of more of the common ones, some of my favorite ones, and how they kind of differ. So before I launch into that, I just want to explain that when we're under stress, a lot of different things across the board are going to get out of balance. Blood sugar, increased inflammation, mood might go up or down, more depression or anxiety. We might gain or lose weight. Our energy might fluctuate. We might have really a lot of fatigue or insomnia. So across the board, adaptogens are going to help with all of these symptoms and imbalances that are caused by stress. But with that said, different adaptogens have a little bit more of a different effect on the body, and you may be hearing about this herb and that herb, and so I just wanted to go over some of them today and how they might differ a little bit so you can tailor it more to your needs and you can kind of figure out which adaptogens are for what. Now keep in mind, some of these may not be the best in terms of blood pressure or may create more anxiety, so I definitely recommend working with your functional medicine doctor or your naturopathic doctor to make sure there's no contraindications to you as an individual. Now, with that said, let's launch into 6 of my favorite and commonly used adaptogens. So first is Panax Ginseng, also known as Korean ginseng or the ginseng of my people. So I think of Panax Ginseng as being a real lifter. So if you're super depleted, like really fatigued, maybe even having some mood issues, I think of Panax Ginseng as definitely something that's going to be really lifting, increasing energy, lifting your mood, just really up. Now this is one that for some people, if you're having a lot of anxiety, may not be the best one. Now keep in mind, this is often used in custom formulas or combination formulas, definitely used in more individualized, complex Chinese herbal formulas. So it may, if you do have anxiety but are also really tired, it might be better to work with someone to make something a little bit more custom for you. But with that said, it's a great lifter, great booster, really increases those reserves. Another lifter and very common one that we see all over social media is Rhodiola. And so Rhodiola also is more about lifting. Really good for raising our energy, especially if you have a lot of fatigue with your stress or adrenal dysfunction. And it's been known to increase serotonin and dopamine. And these are excitatory. Well, dopamine is an excitatory neurotransmitter. Serotonin is sort of is calming, but also helps us feel that happy feeling. So it's known to increase our mood. So if you're having issues kind of feeling low and having low energy, Rhodiola may be a good one for you to add in. Now the next one that I also really like is Eleuthero. And Eleuthero is a little bit more balancing, sort of lifting but also calming. So if you're somebody who has some adrenal dysfunction, has some fatigue, has some mood issues, Eleuthero may be good for you. Also if you have insomnia. So if your adrenal dysfunction or hormonal issues due to stress are causing some insomnia, Eleuthero is also, something to consider, and also good for the immune system. If you're someone who's catching a lot of colds and flus or kind of feeling virally due to having that depleted adrenal system, then you would definitely consider Eleuthero, and that's one of my favorites as well. Ashwagandha is another one that you may have heard of, really popular. And ashwagandha is really special because it is nourishing but calming. So a good one if you have that wired and tired feeling, if you are adrenally deficient or fatigued or having some adrenal dysfunction, and you're tired but also tend to be a little bit anxious. It's a really good one for those of you who are worriers. So very good to help calm that nervous system. Really helps to enhance your mood as well. So ashwagandha may be a better one for you if your mind is going a lot and you're kind of, tend to worry a lot and overthink. Whereas rhodiola, really good for more like lifting. So those are two, I mentioned rhodiola because rhodiola and ashwagandha tend to be really common ones that we hear a lot. Next is one of my favorites as well, holy basil. So holy basil, also known as tulsi, used very much in Ayurvedic medicine as well. I love this herb. You can take it as a tea. Really good also for balancing as well as kind of calming. And what I also love for holy basil is if your stress response and your adrenal issues are causing a little bit more of blood sugar dysregulation, I have found in my practice that holy basil is really helpful for balancing that blood sugar. It's not something that you hear very commonly when you kind of are, looking up adaptogens or learning about them. But holy basil clinically I have found to be helpful for blood sugar. So if your stress is causing your blood sugar to go up and down and be a little bit wonky, of course work on nutrition first and foremost, but with the stress and with the blood sugar, holy basil may be helpful for you. And last but not least, Schizandra is another one of my favorites. And Schizandra is known in Chinese medicine as the 5-flavor berry. So it has all 5 flavors, and it's really about balancing the yin and the yang, balancing all parts of the body. So it's another one that's really good for calming, but also lifting mood, should you have some mood issues. Holy basil and Schizandra, I sort of think in both of those ways. They're very nourishing and calming and balancing, but it doesn't mean it's going to bring you down. So if you're having some depression or sadness or blues, it's going to help balance and lift that, but in a very nourishing, calming, grounding way. So Schizandra is another one that is good for if you're having insomnia or trouble sleeping, so one to consider. So holy basil, Eleuthero, ashwagandha, Schizandra, these are ones that I would consider being okay to take in the evening or in the afternoon, or even just taking it in the morning just to help nourish the system to help with sleep if that's something that is being disrupted for you due to your stress, in addition to other parts of your more comprehensive treatment plan. Now, there are so many more adaptogens that I love. Cordyceps, I love, that's a medicinal mushroom. Maca, you may have heard of, really great for hormonal imbalance. Bacopa is another one that I love. So I'm going to do another video going over some of the other adaptogens that I really enjoy and use in my practice, but I think it's easier to do them in little bite-sized chunks, and these first 6 are a good one to kind of use, play with, nourish. And the most gentle way to take these are as a tea. So tea is very nourishing, very gentle, and you can use it as kind of a ritual for yourself. So that's a good way to start if you've never taken or used adaptogens before. I'm going to list below in the description box some links to some over-the-counter ones that you can get at your local health food store. Gaia and Pharm are 2 of my favorite brands that I use a lot. I will also link some of the combination formulas that I really enjoy. Those are what's called physician grade, so you would have to get them through our dispensary, and that's listed below as well. But enjoy I hope you are reducing your stress and working on nourishing yourself, and these adaptogens are a great way to do that. Thank you so much for stopping by. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and if you didn't, let us know how we can make some changes or if you have questions. And Dr. Angela and I will be back very soon, and we'll see you soon. Take care.